Hi, my name is Olga Boyke. I am a realtor with eXp Realty.
Yes, and this is Edyta Pluta-Czarnecki with Neighborhood Loans.
And today we have a very special guest with us. This is William Miller Jr. He is a motivational speaker, activist. You are also a leader in your community. And let's not forget that how old are you again?
I'm 10 years old.
And only 10 years old. This is so impressive, inspirational, and a little intimidating for an old lady like me, to have a 10-year-old on the show, something that we can learn from you. So I became aware of you about a year and a half ago because you were on the news. You did something very, very important, if you will. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so about a year ago when I was 8, I went to the city council seeking for change because recently there was lots of street racing in my neighborhood. And eventually a car almost hit my grandma. And I wasn't going to let anything happen to my grandma. So I went to the city council asking them for change. And surprisingly, 6 months later, a new traffic light right where there was a problem.
That is just so cool. So you're very observant. You've noticed that your grandma was in danger and you decided to do something about it. So when you remember that moment, what did you feel when you were like, this is it? I'm going to do something about it. Did you feel excited? Did you feel scared? Like, what was going through your head?
Yeah, so like I said recently, my grandma was just taking walks and then she came home with this terrible news and I was furious. I didn't want anything to happen to my grandma. So I asked my dad, what should we do? And my dad said the only way we could fix this is to go to the city council. And then I realized this is the only option. So I felt nervous, but I knew it had to be done.
Yeah, I mean, but how do you go to a city council? How do you even start the process? This is what most of the grown-ups wouldn't even know where to start. Did you go online? Did you make a call? How did you do it?
Yeah, so I didn't know a lot about like the city government, and all I knew that this could this could help me and my community. So when I went to the city council, I, I just wanted change to happen. So yeah, so I just went to the city council asking for change, making sure that something would actually happen.
Yeah, this is again so impressive. So you wanted the neighborhood to be safe. You wanted your grandma to feel safe. So why do you think that's important, especially for kids, but also looks like the adults sometimes are in danger? Why do you think where we live we should feel safe at?
Yeah, so it's not safe if you're living somewhere where it's dangerous because if people start getting hurt in that situation, it's not going to be a fun neighborhood anymore. It's not going to be like kids running across the street playing at the park because if they run across the street, there's danger where they could get hurt.
Yeah, so sometimes we look at the crime rate, we take it very seriously, but actually, as you said, crossing the street, that can be also dangerous. And sometimes we don't even consider that. And people just, live their lives without making the change. So that's really observant of you that you took the step. So, what's in where you live now? What is the best part of your neighborhood? What are you proud the most where you live right now?
Well, what I'm proud the most of where I live right now is that it's now a safer neighborhood and that there's nothing bad going on and that there's a good school where we could learn and not feel fear that we're endangered crossing the street going home after school. And yeah, that's just a really good part about my neighborhood that I feel proud about that I'm safe in my neighborhood.
That is just so awesome. And if you were in charge of your neighborhood, let's say you were the head of the HOA, which is the homeowners association, what would be the priority for you to change? What is something that is still kind of bothering you or something that you would like to see different?
Yeah, something that I would like to see different because sometimes I'm driving down the neighborhood and I see like cars zoom past the school, and I'm like, school zone, like you could hit somebody. There, you're not in much of a rush to hurt somebody and get in trouble for it. You're not that much in a rush. So how about you just slow down and maybe like change your speed limit to no more over than 20 miles per hour. And then once you're gone for the school zone, you could pick up your speed and keep on going where you're going.
That is so true. Seems so simple, but I even see that in my neighborhood. I live by the school, and you would be surprised how maybe not you, but how often the adults actually don't follow the rules and they go way quicker than supposed to, and they put kids in danger. So that's so amazing that you put attention on it, you pay attention to what's happening, and not only you do that, but you're willing to make a change and go out of your way to implement the change. So if there is a child in somewhere in the world or even an adult and they want to make some changes, what advice would you give them about, speaking up and taking the first step to make changes in their neighborhood?
Yeah, some of the advice that I would give them is that nothing's impossible and of course you could do it. And they could speak up. They've got a voice. They've got a purpose, no matter their age. And most people just play it safe their entire lives. They don't take the risk. And when they're gone, their headstone might as well say, played it safe, not used up.
I see. That's a very interesting perspective. And yeah, playing safe sometimes sounds like an easy way out, but you don't make a print in the world or you don't make any change. And everyone wants to have a purpose in their life, right? I just want to say that this conversation we're having right now, it really opened up my mind how I look at the word home. Being a realtor and helping my clients buying and selling homes, I only look at the home as the walls that we stay in. I often think this is an investment, but actually, a home, especially for a child, has such a bigger meaning that we adults seem to think. For you, what is a home? I'm assuming it's not just the four walls that you're in, but it's actually something bigger because you're so passionate about it. What is a home in your community for you?
Yeah, I agree with you because most people would think, oh, a home is just the walls in between where you live. But a home is much bigger than that. A home is where you feel safe. A home is where you feel comfort and the, no fear of feeling that you're in danger. That's what a home is. And most people say a house is a home, but there's lots of differences between a house and a home. A house, like on the real estate market, there's hundreds, thousands of houses on the market. And those are just walls in between. But once somebody makes it a home, that's their comfort place. It's where they feel safe.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree any more with you. And let me tell you, so do you feel like having a home, would that help kids to be more brave? Does having a stable and safe home help kids? Or sometimes we seem to oversee that aspect and we just think about money, but it's actually something bigger than that. How did having a safe home help you to be brave?
Yeah, having a safe home helped me be brave is because I have a stable environment where there's not lots of crazy stuff going on. Because if a kid were to grow up in a bad neighborhood where people were struggling, their energy would go towards that too. But if a kid would to be growing up in a good neighborhood with doctors and lawyers, you would get that energy too. You say, "Hey, what's up, Sam? Good morning." And they would say, "Yeah, I'm about to go do a surgery on somebody and earn a couple $100." And that could be inspiring towards a kid.
Oh, absolutely. Having a role model or like a hero in your life, that really makes a difference. I've had some role models in my life when I was younger, and that's how I actually ended up being in United States because I saw people from a different country inspiring me. So You are absolutely right. Is there, since you are a motivational speaker, is there anything you would like to bring attention to? Anything that you would like to speak up about, and take the moment to share something that is important and relevant, and at the moment?
Yeah, so something important something that people could remember to be braver is that anything's possible, and if you just put your mind towards what you want to happen, it will happen. If you say it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But if you say I'm going to do this, you're going to do it fine.
So you would just say it's the mindset that it's extremely important, and we should surround each other, with people that are influential and inspire us to do better. And I want to say you that person to me, and you that person to a lot of people, not only kids, adults as well. I want to say thank you so much for sharing your amazing energy, and not only the energy, but your accomplishments. You actually did something that was really good, and you should be proud of it, and you should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for taking the time and seeing us. It looks like you have a busy life. What's next for you? What's your next projects, if you will?
Yeah, since I'm already a public speaker, I'm thinking in the future I hope to be a paid public speaker to encourage other people, not just kids, maybe to encourage grown-ups to take the risk, because lots of people don't take the risk. Like involving real estate, investments can be hard because it could be scary at first, because if somebody asked you for like $1,000 and they would pay you back, but what if they don't pay you back? That could be kind of scary, because $1,000 is a lot of money. But all you need to do is take the risk and be brave.
Exactly. Perfectly said. You're just so awesome.
Well, I know you are a professional in real estate and you sell all these kinds of beautiful houses. Has there ever been a time where a kid fell in love with the house before the grown up did?
Yes, actually, that happened a couple days ago. I was working with a client who is a single dad, so he brought his daughters to showings. And we just talked about it an hour ago.
Yeah.
When he told me that one of the houses that the little girls absolutely fell in love with, they were going in circles around the kitchen. It was a wide open space. They just loved it because they could run with no walls between. So yes, absolutely happened this week, and it's such a coincidence that we're talking about it. But sometimes adults forget to consider kids in buying process, and you just remind me when I'm working with clients to just remember about that it's a home. It's not just an investment, but it's a place for kids to grow up.
Have you ever sold any like something haunted house or something that was different?
I love it.
Haunted house, no. However, I had some situations where maybe I didn't feel safe showing homes. So I've never been in a haunted house. I cannot do anything scary. But being a realtor, a woman, sometimes we show houses to strangers, or we have open houses that it's basically us sitting in homes and they're open to the public. And it's all over the internet, and it's all over Zillow and all the websites advertising. So I've been in a couple situations where maybe I didn't feel that safe as a woman. So that's something that may be related, but it wasn't fun. So never had any crazy experiences with haunted houses, but maybe around Halloween, I'll look for some. I'll try to look, or if you know any house that is haunted, call me and we'll go check it out together, okay? Because I'm not going there by myself. Oh no. I'll have you go first, okay?
Okay.
And I hide behind you. Looks like we're almost the same size, so I can probably just hide behind you. Yeah, I know haunted houses, but have you had any crazy, Edyta?
No, nothing crazy. But how about celebrity properties?
Celebrity. Not really. I know in Arizona, in Scottsdale especially, we do have. So I like their architect. His name is Frank Lloyd Wright. That I've seen a lot of his homes that I went to. He's inspired by the nature and the flow of desert. But no, I've never. Have you been to? I think you've been to a celebrity home in Chicago, or like you know someone.
Yes. Um, I started working on a transaction that it was a famous basketball player.
Very famous.
Very famous.
Very famous.
Very, very famous.
So you were helping them buy or sell? Or?
Yeah, just working with the financing with the buyer. So
Yeah.
you know who that is?
Kobe Bryant.
Close.
I think a little older.
Did he play baseball?
Yes,
Oh, he did.
Michael Jordan.
that's right.
What?
Dang.
Well, it was his property, but
Somebody
you know,
was buying.
Yes,
And you were
exactly.
helping them buy
Yeah.
that. Anything, I guess, anything fun about it? You can disclose, right?
Well, I mean, no, not really. I would say, but the house is absolutely amazing.
Did you meet him?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not that easy. When you become famous one day, you'll know how it works. It's just not everyone can get to you, you know?
Yes.
We don't know where he moved, right? Do we?
No, I do
No.
not. I do not. So
But that was a big home. I remember you showed me pictures.
that was in Illinois. So yeah, yes.
How big was
Illinois.
the home? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't remember, but you know,
It was like a hotel, like a resort.
Yeah, everything was pretty much in the you know just in one location.
That is crazy. Have you ever been to a celebrity home? Or maybe you're going to, son?
I had. Once my dad was showing this house, and me and my grandma, and I think it was me and my grandma and grandpa, me and my dad, we went to this huge, massive home. And now that I saw it, it was like my dream home.
Wow.
It was like it was in the shape of a circle.
Okay.
And most people would think a backyard is like in the back of the house, but in this home, the entire backyard was in the middle of the circle.
Oh, nice.
So the entire house went all around.
I see.
Oh, wow.
Was it on a hill or like a special location, or it was designed like that?
No, it was like designed in like these little big trees all around, and it kind of blocked out how the house looked.
Okay, so you couldn't see from the outside.
Yeah,
you couldn't
but-
say.
But the walls were like 20 feet tall, and they're like fireproof because they're made out of marble.
Wow,
And
a lot of marble, I'm sure.
yeah, lots of marble.
And that was here in Phoenix Metro somewhere
yeah,
in Arizona.
somewhere in Arizona, and it became my dream home.
Oh, okay, and that's your goal. That's what you're working on.
Yeah, and I don't know who's or what celebrity lived in there, but it was like a famous football player that lived there.
Oh, okay, and how many bedrooms? Let's say 10. Do you know? It was a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, with those homes, sometimes you have 10 bedrooms and like 15 bathrooms. And sometimes I think about it, why do you need more bathrooms than the bedrooms, right?
Yeah.
But it happens so often where you have all those bathrooms.
Oh, and there's something really cool about that
Mhm.
house. So in the backyard,
Which was like the circle yard,
yeah,
middle
circle
yard,
yeah,
middle yard.
they were able to grow bananas in like 105-degree weather.
Huh. They had a mist or something, shade.
They made it like a fake climate. They would plant these huge trees all around, and they would block out the sun.
Oh, and maybe hold the moisture.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
And then it would be cooler. Then they would plant these banana trees, and they would grow naturally.
And how did it feel? Like, did you feel like it was a little jungle? I imagine jungle. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But like, just see a little jungle with
It felt
bananas
like
in
that.
Arizona. That's so unusual.
Yeah, it felt like a jungle because it was like the sun was blocking out, and
It was darker.
It was darker,
And
like if-
moisture, probably.
like if the jungle forest was blocking out the sun, and there's like little fountains run down the ground, and it was pretty cool.
Did you try the bananas? Did you pick one or get one?
We didn't try the bananas, but we had like this different type of fruit.
Okay. From that garden? Or
Yeah, from that garden.
Wow. Do you remember what fruit was that?
I think it was like plums,
Okay.
plums or
Something round and
something
sweet?
like that.
Maybe. Okay.
Sweet.
I know you were 10 years old, so back then you were probably like even younger than that. So yeah, you know, remember it was sweet and round.
9, 8, somewhere around there. But
It was
I
just
love
amazing.
that
You still
house.
remember.
yeah,
So probably when you're working on your career and you're always gonna have in the back of your head, and that's gonna be your goal. Then one day you're gonna have a house like this. Would you buy that house or would you design something your own, something that shows your personality and some that is important to you?
yeah. I haven't seen any other really big celebrity home like that, so
This is it for
I
you.
don't know how I would build it or design a better home than that.
Okay.
So I would try to design something similar or buy that specific house.
But you definitely remember that garden, if you will, or you know that. So nature is important to you, I'm assuming. It wasn't about the rooms, it wasn't about what's inside, but it was about the nature. Is that right?
Yeah,
So
I love the garden more than the house
I
because
see.
I would just like lay in the grass, chill.
Yeah.
When there's no sun just burning me down. And-
Yes. It
and I
was
think-
protecting.
And I think when the home was getting sold, nobody bought it because it was $20 million.
Ugh. Yeah.
So they lowered it. They lowered it down to $12 million.
That's a little bit better, huh?
I still don't think anybody bought the house.
Maybe they did. There's a lot of people with money, and you know, but 20,
$20 million.
12 is better than 20.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody could afford it.
Yeah.
Wasn't me, that's for sure. But you probably will one day.
Mhm.
I'm sure you will. I have a feeling you will. And you're going to remember that house
Yeah.
with the bananas. Now I see the bananas hanging.
Yeah, I can still see it.
I can smell it already too. Ripe bananas. It's so cool. Anything else that you like? So did your dad take you on showings quite often? Or just the cool stuff?
Sometimes he would take me to just like regular homes, but sometimes they would be pretty cool too. And we would see like specific stuff that is pretty cool about the home.
Okay.
Like the house, it's good, but it's not the best. But like the bathrooms are really nice, or the garden.
There's always something special.
Yeah, there's
about.
always something special about a specific house.
Yes. So when I work with clients, it's either the surroundings are important to them, which would be the backyard, the middle yard. You know, we should have a name for it, middle yard, or it's the home. It's the rooms, it's the bathrooms. Kitchen is important, but now that I getting a little bit older, to me is the nature around the home is becoming more and more. Edyta actually has a really nice backyard, very green. You could see it from the street. It's over the fence.
A
She
lot
has
of trees.
A little jungle. That's a little jungle you have
It is
over
a
there.
little jungle. Yes, I have about 30 ficuses and other trees in the middle. A lot of jasmine, which smells absolutely amazing.
Is it once a year or twice a year that they bloom?
Jasmine?
Jasmine. I have one jasmine. You have 33, right? I have
Oh,
one.
no. Ficuses, I have 30. Jasmine, I have 5.
Oh, okay. So it smells good.
It smells really good. It smells when it's cooler outside.
Yeah,
So, like spring or later in the fall.
it smells good.
Absolutely.
Would you invest in real estate when you grow up
Yeah.
in homes, or do you have different ideas?
Well, I would say I would invest later when I'm older
Right.
because it was I've invested before
Oh,
even as a kid. Cause,
yes. How did you do that? What did you invest in?
Yeah, so I invested in a couple of stuff. The small stuff was like after my birthday, my mom gave me like $20 to go buy me what I want, but she wanted her money back after I bought it.
Oh,
So I gave her back.
so you
20
made money
20 bucks. I made money
and gave it back to her.
and then gave like my own money back to her.
You are so smart. I want to see what you invested. You had such a good return.
And then the big stuff that I invested in is me and my dad. We bought my grandma and grandpa a cabin in Payson, and it was a lot of money. And
Yeah.
but investing isn't just about money. It's about your time sometimes too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was a beautiful home inside, but it was kind of boring outside.
Okay.
It didn't have a lot of trees. It had some trees, but we made like a pergola in the front yard.
You built it with your dad and your grandparents?
Yeah. And then we put little lights around the house so whenever it's night they
It
can
must
light
be
up and the
beautiful.
house will be very beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like you not only invested in the property, but also time you spend with your family,
Yeah.
time you spend with your grandparents and your dad. So these are memories and skills, right? Because now you know how to build a pergola and hang lights, which I wouldn't even know where to start. So that's, you invested back in yourself.
Yeah.
So growing is not just about, as you said, money and financial aspect of things, but it's also about experiences and investing in self-development, which you're all about it, I can tell you right now. Have you ever invested like in yourself? Do you know what that means, investing in yourself?
No.
Educational, taking classes, being here, it's investing in yourself, it's investing in your future because you're taking the time and putting in your self-development. So this is a lot of, even grown-ups don't do it. Like for us, training, getting more experience, getting training for reals, any profession, that's investing back into yourself.
Yeah, so I don't think I have yet, but in the future, now that I know about it, it sounds pretty useful.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future
you'll invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I think you
Invest in
are already
myself.
without even thinking about it. Or maybe you have a good mentor and coach, your dad,
Yeah.
who's investing into you so effortlessly that you don't even know he's investing in you, which is even better. You
Yeah.
have a really smart dad.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's your role model and your hero.
Yep.
It's just amazing. I'm so proud of you and him because he made a really cool kid and he's working on you every day.
Yep. Every single day.
And you listen. So that, some kids don't listen. My kids don't listen to me. And I want to invest in them. And they're like, nope, I'm good, Mom. So you also listen to your dad.
Yep.
It takes two. It takes your dad's time and you to listen, to be so cool and awesome and so smart and very intelligent. You're not an average 10-year-old. Nope, far from that.
I mean, yeah, I'm not really an average 10-year-old, but
Yes.
I still do stuff that average 10-year-olds do, like play baseball, swim,
Okay.
and do kickboxing
Oh, really?
and travel. I mean, not a lot of kids travel, but I would say that most kids would like to travel.
Yes.
I would say I'm not very much an average 10-year-old in this part,
Professional.
the professional, but other than that, I do stuff that average 10-year-olds do all the time.
Yeah, you seem pretty happy to me with playing sports and traveling and having fun. But the thing is about what we're doing here is you enjoy it. It's just part of your DNA because there's a difference with someone doing things they don't enjoy, but you definitely having fun. And I could tell it's in you. You can't deny that. So you just do what you love.
Yeah.
And that's even more important. Next, what is the next? Governor, mayor? What's the next step?
Yeah, first I want to be well known by being a paid public speaker. Then I want to take my role into like the local government, like the governor, like you said, mayor.
Mhm.
Then I want to
Be the
go into the
president. I know.
be elected.
Yeah, and I'm sure you will be. It's a process, but you got it all figured out, and you're starting pretty soon, so you are ahead of the game. You remind me of Obama. Is that?
Obama?
Yeah. Is that is that who inspires you, or this just happens to be like a mini Obama? Even the way you talk, you have that charisma.
I do see that Barack Obama is a great speaker.
Yes.
Great, but I have something that sometimes maybe he doesn't have.
Mhm.
I mean, he's a president. He's way more professional than me, but I would say that I see lots of presidents, they read from notes and
Yes.
they just read a long time. They don't really acknowledge to the people.
Mhm.
They read it, then they look at the camera and look at the people. But if you're actually talking from your mind, you could look at all the people and they could feel the power of your
And you
words.
feel their emotions and you feel them. But this is such a hard skill. Not a lot of people can speak from the memory, and connecting with the audience. Again, it's a skill, it's a talent that you have, and you will take advantage of it. You already are. So, William, could you tell us how we can find you on social media? What's the best way to get a hold of you? If somebody has some important topics, I would like to get you involved in their projects.
Yeah, so my Instagram, it's called itswilliammiller.com, and that's basically it. And on Instagram, it's just at It's William Miller.
So it's your first and last name,
Yes.
William Miller.
William Miller.
They can find you and hire you for motivational speaking, mindset, and inspiring others.
Yeah.
William, I just want to ask you, why public speaking and what makes it so easy? Because it seems like you just sort of kind of give the information out. You just have no limits. So why public speaking?
I love encouraging other people,
Mhm.
kids and grown-ups, cause I know whenever I speak, I motivate people and something powerful happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, you think it's easy for me,
Yeah, it
But-
does sound very easy.
Very natural.
but let me tell you, nothing's easy. I've been training. I have a speech coming up, and it was pretty hard. I stutter a lot, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is gonna be hard.
Mm-hmm.
And once the time comes, I just gave it all my effort. Then it looks like it's easy, but nothing's easy.
So what do you usually concentrate on? For example, I help people buy their properties, right? Get the financing, etc. And I love what I do. I'm passionate. I want to help every single person. But I also would like to share the information, right? So for me, public speaking, in a way, it is maybe on a smaller scale, right? But I would like to share information, educate. But look at this. And it's just a few people here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what would you can you help me in a way? What should I think about, or what should I concentrate on to make it easier to share what I'm passionate about?
Yeah, so some ways that you can make it easier to share what you're passionate about is just be brave, cuz like I said earlier, all you have to do is be brave and be confident, cuz anything's possible and anything can be done. You can't grow wings and fly, but other than that, I'm pretty sure you can do anything else.
Well,
So I would just think, be brave and talk to yourself in the mirror. That's what I usually do.
practice.
Say, you could do it, and practice in the mirror. See how you do it. Sometimes I practice in the shower, and I get better over time because I just keep on practicing
Mhm.
and keep on motivating myself.
That sounds good. So believe in the message that you want to share, right?
Yeah, believe in yourself.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. I might, reach back to you and just kind of ask you some questions and a little ideas, etc. So
Maybe you're gonna run for the president soon.
I can't.
Maybe next. What do you remember what you told me about being ready? Something that I'm never gonna forget. You told me, let's stay ready so we don't have to get ready.
Yeah, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
You got it. This is
Love
in
it.
my brain now. He told me a 10-year-old, how about we stay ready so you don't have to get ready? I was like, sounds
Um,
good to me. Hello.
You know,
Get ready so you don't have to get ready.
it
This
is
just
so
like hit me in the
simple.
face. So simple.
But
And so
you-
true.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think in our lives, we get so busy with what we do for a living, with our families, with everything else, we forget the simple things.
Yes.
So-
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I'm never going to
Absolutely.
forget that.
And here's an example
Yes.
of why I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because before most speeches, I practice a whole bunch of speeches. But I practice more than one, even if I'm not going to speak that speech. Because if eventually a time does come, if I will speak a speech, I already have a whole bunch of speeches in my head, and I could just pick it out, and then
You
and
stay
then I
ready.
could just make sure that it'll be right for that day, and then I will
Be
I will
ready.
be successful because I stay ready, so I don't have to get
Yeah.
ready.
I mean, how simple is that? But so true. And I'll never forget. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
I was like, William wrote me, how about we stay ready so we don't have to get ready? I was
That's
like,
right.
Never gonna forget that. You taught me so many different lessons. Our interaction. I don't know, a lot of people taught me. So you just thank you again.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.
I love
Amazing.
it. It's just so cool.